This is the most budget Diablo 2 build you will ever see. He's got nothing, literally. And he's going up against one of the most dangerous places in Diablo 2, the Chaos Sanctuary with Diablo himself. Is this even possible, or have I caught a severe case of overconfidence? Let's go and kick some demon ass or die trying. I'm starting off as a paladin with most of my stats in vitality, but I saved some stat points for gear that I might find later down the road. As for skills, I chose to do a Holy Bolt build for this challenge. The most popular build for running the Chaos Sanctuary is the Hammered In, but I wanted to try it out, and I figured it would be a safer playstyle. Before the Chaos Sanctuary, I had to make my way through the River of Flame. There are sometimes maggots in the way, which can be a problem since Holy Bolt doesn't do anything against them, but other than that, things were going pretty well from the start. Even with no plus skills from gear, a maxed Holy Bolt deals over 2000 damage for only 3 mana. And thanks to Holy Bolt not being boosted by any offensive aura, I was free to use Salvation Aura for a much needed boost to my resists. And of course, Redemption Aura to refill my life and mana between fights. Entering the Chaos Sanctuary itself, the difficulty ramps up a bit. Monsters spawn in huge packs, which makes it much more difficult to manage without getting swarmed. In the beginning I could use the narrow corridors to my advantage, but the paladin's lack of crowd control has never been so obvious to me as in this challenge. But, I must say, as long as I approached slowly and didn't aggro too many enemies at once, this was not at all as hard as I had imagined. It took some time, but I finally made it to the center. Before attempting to clear the seals, I cleared out the area to have a safe zone to retreat to. As for the seal bosses, Vizier was easiest and didn't pose much of a threat, which is kind of to be expected. Lord Disease is a bit harder and does cause me some problems from time to time in my playthroughs. I prepared by clearing the area of all other monsters before opening the seal and approached him slowly, and it ended up being kind of easy too. On to the third and final pair of seals. I feared that the Infector of Souls would be the hardest problem beforehand, and it proved to be true. He is so fast and he and his pack chased me almost all the way back to the entrance. Eventually they managed to get separated into smaller packs and I could successfully kite them a few at a time. And after a few minutes of cheesing them, Infector of Souls was defeated. After opening all of the seals, I set up my only town portal, because I'm 100% counting on dying here. And then it was time to face Diablo himself. Diablo spawned and I took a few shots at him to see how much damage I would deal. That's not too bad, but he quickly threw me in a bone prison. And while I had time to deal some good damage to him, I couldn't out-heal his damage output without being able to dodge his spells. I took my TP back and he immediately imprisoned me again, but he didn't attack me. So I was just standing around for a while trying to figure out what to do. Eventually I broke out by casting Fist of the Heavens on the prison many times, and I approached Diablo again. I tried dodging his spells for a while, taking shots where I could, but it wasn't long until he trapped me again. But this time I got lucky. While I was sending a constant stream of Holy Bolts his way, he ran up right next to me, and after slapping me a few times, he started using his lightning attack over and over, which completely missed me, since he was standing too close to me. And shortly after, Diablo went down. In just over 26 minutes I had cleared the Chaos Sanctuary and defeated Diablo without any gear at all. I would perhaps not call this a Magic Find run, maybe more of a Magic Find walk or even a Magic Find crawl. But once I knew it was possible, I wanted to see if I could get this paladin geared by continuing to run Diablo from here. And I did. Kinda. I ended up doing 50 more runs after the first kill. It was slow, it was tedious, but it was actually doable. I didn't get fully decked out in endgame gear of course, but I ended up with max resists, a good chunk of life, over 200% magic find and decent damage output with a 3k Holy Bolt and hitting the 75% faster cast breakpoint. That part of the video ended up being kind of boring though, so I deleted it. I did find my first 40% magic find guides though, which was nice. If you're disappointed by the lack of loot highlights in this video, I have created a playlist of all my loot videos, feel free to check it out.